Quaking Leaf, and I'm going to be doing the PCT starting in just a couple weeks. April 7th, 2023 is my start date in maybe the snowiest year on the PCT ever. Well, anyway, it's all good. And I'm going to be showing you my sub 10 pound pack, everything that I'm bringing on the trip with me. So let's go ahead and start with clothing. I'm going to be using the Ultra Temp 4 with sole insoles. And I have every 500 miles or so, I'll get a new pair of these. Love them. They've been durable, comfortable. They fit me really well. There's the shoes. The trekking pole that I'll be using is the Gossamer Gear Light Trek 5. I'll carry that small basket because I am going to be getting some snow in the early days. Later on the trip, I will add a second Light Trek from Gossamer Gear, and I'll be adding the snow baskets at that time. Those are 5.2 ounces each. Okay, so next, I'm going to be carrying a cotton bandana in my pocket. I use this. This has been well loved. This is my towel. I use it as a pre-filter when I'm filtering water. I use this for cleaning out, my cooking gear. It's just kind of and my cleaning my glasses. It's just a do everything that will be in my pocket for the whole trip. For socks, I am going to be using the Exo Skin 1/4 Crew Exo Toes in wool. I really like the Injiji socks, but they just aren't durable enough for me. So I'm switching to these, and I've been using them for a lot of my training hikes for hundreds of miles, and they're doing really well. So I'm going to be wearing a pair of these. I am also going to be using Dirty Girl gaiters. Dirty Girl gaiters just keep out all of the sand, dirt, and everything, and they keep your feet feeling better, protect your socks, your shoes. Dirty Girl gaiters. These are awesome. I've had these for years. Next, I'm going to be wearing for shorts. These are the New Balance Accelerate 5-inch shorts with the liner. And I got these on a tip from Jupiter, so thank you for that. And yeah, I really like these. Nice and light. They dry quickly. Here we go. For the shirt, I'm going to be using the Outdoor Research Echo Sun Hoodie. So this gives good SPF protection, covers your neck during the sun, gives you good protection all around from that sun, but it also breathes really well, dries quickly. I've really enjoyed hiking in this in the summer times. So I am also going to be using the Hightail Designs buff. So this can be lots of different things. It can be a light hat. It can be just a little bit of warmth for the neck. And it's also the cover for my inflatable pillow, giving it a little bit of softness at night. So there we go. Hightail Designs, cool company. And next for the hat, I'll be using an Abbey Paffrath painted design hat. I've always loved these. I just think it's really cool. It's a trucker hat, and yeah, I love her art. She's based out of Colorado. Way cool. And that's it for the clothing that I'm going to be wearing. Okay, so now let's take a look at what's going to be inside the pack. Now, first of all, I'm using a Bonfus, which is an Italian company, Bonfus fanny pack. It's a nice little fanny pack. Has a little spot for glasses right here. And it's just really, really simple, made of EcoPack fabric. I'll talk about that first. So in this, I have the things that I want to access during the day. It'll have some of my snacks might be in here, but for the most part, it's going to have the following things. Okay, so first of all, it has my camera gear. Now some of that stuff is being used in this recording right now, but I will have, sadly no longer in business, I'll have a stick pick, which makes it so I can put my phone on the end of my trekking pole and do shots like that. And then I have a, there is a spring mount that we're using right now that attaches to this. And there is also a Boya Mini microphone on the phone right now. The phone that I'm using is a iPhone 13 Pro with a lightweight case. I'm also going to be taking, this is the Night Eyes quick stand. It just pops right out and makes a little stand for taking some shots when I need to do that. The other thing they have in this bag are my headphones. These are the LibreTech Q-Adapt wired headphones. They have the lightning adapter, lightning connector for my iPhone, and these sound really good. I've been really happy with these. And so that is it for the camera equipment. Also in this bag, I have a mini DCF wallet, and inside this I will have a little bit of cash, my credit cards, I'll have a couple of them. I'll have my California fire permit, and this is really cool, my PCT permit. So that's in that little bag right there. Now, this will actually be attached to my pack up in here, but this is my Garmin InReach Mini satellite communicator, which makes it so I can get help if I need it quickly, but also I can stay in touch with my family and friends while I'm out. I'm going to be using the Casio F91W in custom colors. This is really simple. Give me an alarm in the morning, help me keep on track with the schedule of the day, although I won't be looking at it that much during the day, mostly an alarm in the morning. For reading glasses, I'm using the News reading glasses. They just go right like that, and they make it so this old man can see the maps that he's trying to read on his phone. Next, I have the Joshua Tree Sun Stick for sunblock. And then the last thing in this bag are my Ombros sunglasses. So these sunglasses will be around my neck really often. They don't have the earpieces, they're just the strap like this. So they go on right there, and then when you're not using them, they can just hang right around your neck. I've really liked these so far. They've been really durable. I'm really happy to be using those. Ombros. And then the Bonefus fanny pack is made out of EcoPack fabric, Eco 200 I think it is. And yeah, really nice, very simple. Okay, so now let's take a look at my pack. So first of all, I'll have my water bottle right here. I can use a 500 or a 700 milliliter bottle right here. I have this strap to kind of keep it attached. It just pops right off, and I can just get drinks while I'm going. I always keep another one. It's over on this side right here. And is it? Nope, it's on this side right here. And there's my second water bottle, and I can trade those during the day. The other thing that will be out here, right here, will be my phone, which will be my camera and my mapping and all of that right here. And then in the back, there is a bottom pocket right here, and that's where I can store my snacks during the day so I can get the food out, eat it while I'm walking, and there's a little garbage port on this side for putting the wrappers in, so I can just keep moving on the trail. The pack that I'm using is a Palante Desert Pack. The Palante Desert Pack is made with EcoPack fabric, which is really, really durable. It has a little pocket right here for holding my spoon and my tent stakes. And this outside pocket will hold a few other items that I'll need during the day. So my spoon is a morsel metal spoon with an end that's kind of like a spatula so I can clean my pot while eating that food. And it has the fork on this side. Here are my tent stakes. I use some tent stakes. The three different kinds that I have Ruta Lacura carbon stakes that are long, great for softer soils, decent in the snow too. I have Easton aluminum stakes, the nano stakes. I have a couple of those as well. And then the other type of stake that I have is an At Stakes carbon short, and these are really tough. So I'm excited to see how these work in the rocky soils of the PCT and on the desert. And I can always swap toward aluminum stakes if I need to later. but I think they'll be fine. I also have this extender for my trekking pole for when I use my Z-Packs Ultraplex tent. This just goes right with my trekking pole. Next, I have my bathroom bag. What I have in my bathroom bag, this is in a lock sack, which is a very durable and scent-proof Ziploc bag. But I have here the Bogler trowel, which is really light, tough, and it gives us little protection here for your hands for when you're digging that cat hole. Always dig cat holes, nice and deep. Then I have also something that is experimental for me, and that is a Holy Hiker bidet. This goes on the end of a water bottle and sprays a stream of water right here for a little bit of clean without using as much toilet paper, or maybe not using any. But I don't know about that yet, so I'm bringing a small amount of toilet paper also. And then last, I have a mini dropper bottle of Purell hand sanitizer. Also in this outside bag is my water purification system. So I use the Hydro Blue filter, which I really like because it has threads on both sides. What's nice about that is it works as a squeeze filter, but I can take my knock bag right here. I can hang it from this Spectra line, attach the filter to it right here, and have the water bottle below as well, so I can have that gravity filter going while I'm having lunch or hanging out. And along with that, like I mentioned before, I have two 500 milliliter Life water bottles, and I also have an ever new 2-liter water bag. So I'm starting off with 5 liters of water carrying capacity, which with this heavy snow year, I don't know if I'll need all of that. Okay, now let's take a look inside the pack. Also in the outside pocket, I am cold soaking on this trip, so I have a Lightsmith cold soaking jar right there. Now, also on the outside, I have a Gossamer Gear Thin Light pad. This is my sit pad, but it also makes it so I can lay out a bit, and it adds a little extra insulation to my sleep system. It's a 1/8 inch pad. Okay, now inside my pack. First of all, always at the top of my pack and on the outside of the pack liner is my tent. That way, if the tent is wet or dirty, it doesn't get anything else dirty and wet. I'm using the Z-Packs Ultraplex Solo Tent, and the Z-Packs Ultraplex is 15.3 ounces. Okay, so next I'll show my clothing system. So in the lower body, in addition to my shorts, I have Farpoint Alpha Camp Pants, which are made of 60 grams per square meter Polartec Alpha Direct fabric, which is very, very breathable and see-through, but when you layer that with wind bottoms, it is a very nice mid-layer and quite warm. My wind bottoms here are Enlightened Equipment Copperfield wind pants. In the upper body, I have a similar system. This is a Senshi Designs Lark hoodie with Alpha Direct 90 fabric. Has a zip in the front, and it's very breathable for wearing if it's kind of warm. But if it gets cold or the wind starts blowing, I add my Enlightened Equipment Copperfield wind shirt, and this makes this into a very nice mid-layer. So it's very versatile. I love this new system. Also for my upper body, I'm going to be, because I'm a cold person, I sleep cold, so I'm bringing some extra insulation. I am bringing the Enlightened Equipment Men's Torrid Pullover. It's a custom one in the beautiful orange color. And it's got the hand pocket right here. And that's pretty warm and toasty. Love that right there. The other thing I've got is my rain jacket. I'm using the Gore R7, which is Gore-Tex Shake Dry hooded jacket. Basically, it's the Gore-Tex layer right on the outside, and it sheds water really, really well. Also, it's really lightweight, 6.5 ounces, and breathes really nicely. Really loving this. The last thing I've got an extra pair of my ExoSkin wool socks right here, which I can use to rotate my socks or sleep in. And then last I have smart wool liners for gloves, very thin liners, but they pair really nicely with my Enlightened Equipment Visp rain mitts, which have been seam sealed. There you go. And that is it for clothing. So now let's take a look at what else is in the pack here. Okay, so let's talk about what is in my ditty bag here. What the things that are not in my fanny pack are the things that I'm going to be accessing really only when I'm at camp. Here are the things that I've got in here. So for my Loco Libre quilt, I have the quilt attachment setup, and that makes it so it becomes a lot less drafty if it's cold temperatures. I have my Nightcore NB 10,000 battery with the wall plug and cables that I need for keeping everything charged. I'm not using batteries at all on this trip, so I have a rechargeable light, my rechargeable Garmin, I have my phone, and that's it. Those are things that I keep charged. This is for that. My bathroom kit, I have a tiny mini towel in there. I have lip balm right here. This is an At Stakes dental kit. This is the toothpaste right here, and this is the At Stakes bamboo toothbrush. And this works out really well. It's way better than the cut toothbrushes I've used in the past. Next thing I've got, this is my repair and first aid kit in a small waterproof DCF bag here. I have 3 pieces of KT tape. If my knees give me issues or ankles, that's right there. I have some backup Catadine Micro Pure tablets in case there's any issues with my water filter or I need to share that with someone. And next is my repair kit. In my repair kit, I have some tenacious tape. I have DCF repair tape if I have any holes in my tent. I have a needle and thread for blisters or gear repair. I have a sleeping pad patch because I'm using an air pad. And I have 4 feet of Lawson Equipment reflective glow wire in here as well for a little bit extra guy line. Also in this kit, I have a couple of Band-Aids, like 2. So also in here, I've got, for blisters, I have Leuco tape for when I'm starting to get blisters. And then I can also add a little bit of toilet paper to this to make an extra bandage if I need to. Great stuff. I also have a small amount of Hydropel, which is foot lubricant. So that's another thing you can add to your feet if you're starting to get hot spots. It makes it so you don't get those blisters. So avoiding blisters is key. I have a really small container of DEET. I won't be having mosquitoes as I start the trip, but I could definitely have ticks. So I'm going to be applying this to my feet and lower legs when I'm hiking through the desert sections as well. I have a little bit of extra meds in here in case I run out in my other resupplies, and I have a couple of Imodium tablets if I get if things don't work out that well. Now, what else is in my ditty bag here, and which is a large lock sack right here? I have my Tom's mosquito head net. I'm starting off with it. Maybe I should ship it ahead to myself. I have Tums. And then next in the bag, I've got meds. I've got some... Next, I've got meds. I've got some ibuprofen. I have my ADHD meds and other vitamin stuff in there as well. I have a Bic mini lighter. I'm not bringing a stove, but this will be useful for starting campfire, emergency, that kind of thing. And later when I do have a stove. I am bringing a Victorinox Classic SD. And to put a smile on my face when I'm using it, I got the one Bryce Canyon Special Edition, which makes me remember the time that I worked at Bryce Canyon National Park for a summer. Great memories. There you go. And this I got because it has lots of different things. It has tweezers, toothpick, scissors, all that stuff. And then last with my light, I'm using a Ravivon Aurora A5 USB headlamp or light. It clips right onto the front of my baseball cap, and that's how I make it into a headlamp. It also has a little wrap so I can hold it in my hand when I'm doing that. That works great when I'm hiking as well. It also has kind of night lights that you can use inside the tent, and it's magnetic also, so I can clip it into my zipper and things like that as well. The Ravivon Aurora A5 at 0.7 ounces. Thanks for the tip, Jupiter. And that's it for that kit. Okay, so now we're down to sleep system. So first of all, I try to use the fewest amount of stuff sacks possible. I do use a stuff sack for my clothing, and I have one for my ditty bag. Other than that, my tent doesn't use a stuff sack, it packs in loose. Also my sleeping bag. But my sleeping bag is inside of a waterproof pack with the tent over the top to give it more rain protection, and it is inside this Polycro pack liner, which I twist up and tuck down so that sleeping bag is well protected in there. So, in my sleep system, first, I am using the Z-Pax pillow, and the Z-Pax pillow also has this elastic strap on it. I got that option. It makes it so it will stay with my pad and not slide off when I'm sleeping. I put a lot extra into my sleep system. So I invested my extra weight in two different things. Number one is staying warm. So I have a lot of clothing so I can stay warm on those cold nights. And then the other thing that I really put my weight into, my luxury I suppose, is good sleep at night. So the Z-Pax pillow with the Hightail Designs cover for it to be soft. So that's really great, especially for a side sleeper. Having a pillow is really, really, well, for me it's important. So next I have my Loco Libre Ghost Pepper quilt. This is a 10-degree quilt. I have it in the long and the wide. I love quilts, but I really love being able to wrap them under my body when I need to as well. That's why I also have the attachment system with it. This is a 900 fill quilt, so soft. I love this thing. Loco Libre, good gear. And next I have the Thermarest Neo Air Uberlight, but I have it in size large. So this is the 25-inch width, 77-inch length. It is 11.5 ounces, which is lighter than a lot of sleeping pads, but it also gives me that extra width and length, extra comfort for sleeping. I want to sleep well at night, so that is the Neo Air Uberlight. Love this pad. And that's it for the sleep system. And then the last thing I have is my custom Hilltop Designs Eco Pack food storage bag. And when I'm on this trip, I'm going to be really missing my family. So on this bag, I've got it custom printed. There's me, my son FM, my daughter Lily, and my wife Amy, who is supporting me amazingly on this trip. I'm going to be gone for a long time, and I really appreciate Amy so much. And I'm going to miss everybody, so every night I get to see them with my Hilltop Designs food bag, which is waterproof, roll top, and later in the trip when I'm hanging the food from a tree, it will definitely protect it there. And that is my main gear for the PCT. Okay, now when I get to the Paradise Valley Cafe, I'm going to be looking at some really serious snow up on San Jacinto. So I'm going to have some gear waiting for me there. One of the things that's going to be arriving is my Suluk 46 Tikka ice axe. This ice axe is amazing. I love this thing. I've used it on a lot of climbs in Washington, kind of low, non-technical snow ascents or glacier ascents. This thing weighs 5.5 ounces. It's carbon fiber titanium. And then I have a wrist leash here because I don't want to lose it. And so I'll have that when I'm up in the snow. I also am adding that second trekking pole, like I mentioned earlier. But I'm also going to have this box arriving. If amazingly I don't need any of this stuff, then I can just bounce it ahead to Kennedy Meadows because I know I'm going to need this in the Sierra. So some things I'll be adding for this part, first of all, are my cook kit. So in my cook kit, I have my 570 mug from Evernew, really nice and light. I have a, this is a windscreen for it. And this is the lid for it right there. And then I have a BRS 3000T stove, a nice $17 special. But I have that I'll be adding to my system. Because when I'm up in the snow, this is especially true up in the Sierra, I'm going to need to have the chance to melt snow, but I also am going to want to have some warm food. So I'm adding a stove in, probably starting in the Sierra, but maybe in San Jacinto. At that same time, I'll be swapping out my sleeping pad for the Thermarest Neo Air X Therm. This is a much warmer pad for sleeping on snow. So I'll have this and also my thin light pad, and that will give me good insulation for sleeping on snow, which I might be doing in the Sierra for weeks. Also, when I get up into the snow, although I love the Ultra shoes, they're very flexible and not as good for edging when you're on a traverse and you're using crampons. So that is why at that time, when I hit the snow, I'm going to switch into the Salomon X Ultra 4. It is a much stiffer shoe. It's still a lightweight running shoe, but it's a lot stiffer and more protection as well. And that I will pair with, when I need it, I have Black Diamond Blitz spike traction devices, which are micro spikes that just go on the front. That I'll be carrying a lot when it's just kind of general snow. I'll be using those with my Ultras. Then, when I'm up in the higher altitudes and I'm looking at more serious snow exposure and maybe going well off the PCT on different routes, I want to have the flexibility to do that. So I'll have my ice axe, but I will also be using the Black Diamond Leopard FL crampons. These have the anti-balling plates. They are aluminum crampons, front spikes. They also have the rear spikes, which are really useful for plunge stepping. And they are flexible in the middle, so they work really well with running shoes. They go on like this. And then there are straps that hold them attached to the shoe right there. So you could see they give you pretty significant traction in the front and the rear, the ability to do direct climbing if I need to, which some places I might choose to, and then also the extra control on the descent here as well. So that's the Black Diamond Leopard FL. Now, being in the snow for weeks and weeks and weeks, I'm switching to some warmer socks. These are some mid-weight Darn Tough socks. These are pretty much for around camp or when I have swapped out these socks and they're drying. These are sealskins waterproof socks. So I use shoes that are non-waterproof. Waterproof shoes can keep your feet dry, but then when the water gets inside, they don't dry very quickly. So I am using a waterproof sock instead, which is something I've done lots of times before. That makes it so your feet stay warm. If the shoe gets wet, it doesn't really matter. You've got the extra vapor barrier here, and it's a really warm setup with these shoes. But then when I need to take these shoes off and let them dry, they'll dry more quickly. The other things that I'm adding in this kit is I have my Enlightened Equipment booties. These are like very warm sleep socks for when I'm sleeping on snow or in cold conditions right here. I have Z-Packs gaiters to keep the snow out, so these will go up to my thigh. Work really well with that setup right there, keeping my feet warm and dry. And there's the snow baskets for my trekking poles, and I think that is it. Oh yeah, and I'm also adding in some Defeat wool gloves, which will be a warmer glove for using up in those colder conditions. I'm also going to have a sleep hat, which I can't see right now. Must be, oh, there it is. I will also have a down sleep hat, which I will add to my sleep system. Because my quilt doesn't have a hood, this gives you a hood for sleeping at night and adds a lot of warmth to that sleep system right there. And then last, in the Sierra, you have to have a bear canister. My friend Jeff Longmire has been really cool. He has a brand new bear canister he's letting me borrow for this trip, and that is the Wild Ideas Barricade. This is a custom size that he had made. It is a little bit larger than the Scout, and it's a little bit smaller than the Blazer. I don't know what the capacity is exactly, but it will hold what I need for doing the Sierra. It locks, is completely bear-proof. And here's the thing that's so cool, it is 30 ounces. A pound, 14 ounces, is a lot of extra weight on a pack like this, but this is the lightest that they come. So this will keep the bears safe and keep my food safe from the bears. So there we go. And also, with the unprecedented snow in the Sierra, I'm really, really happy to be having the Northern Lights Timberwolves. Now, I've been using Northern Lights snowshoes for years. My whole family uses them. These things are amazing and light. These are the lightest in their class because these are for more high alpine. They have steel crampons that go much further back in the rear, which is really important when you are traversing slopes like in the Sierra. And they also have much more aggressive steel crampons in the front. These suckers are sharp. These are 30-inch snowshoes, and the pair is 4 pounds, which, when you consider how aggressive those crampons are, this is the lightest that they come. So I'm really excited to be using these up in the Sierra, and probably in San Jacinto as well. Northern Lights. That is the gear that I'm taking on the PCT. I'm Quaking Leaf, and if you have any thoughts, if you have any feedback for me, any other ideas in the comments below, feel free to put that on there. And I'm going to be putting out some videos every week as I do this trip. Every week I'll be putting out a new video for you to check out and follow what I'm doing. So right now, like a YouTuber would say, go down below and subscribe so you can follow my journey. There we go. It's Quaking Leaf. Have a great hike, everybody.